Have you ever seen somebody in life that is so desperate that they'll do whatever it takes to get what they want or whatever they're so desperate about to achieve that? We all know someone, right? We all know somebody in life, probably multiple people that we've seen. They're so desperate that they want something so bad to happen and they'll do anything to have that to be right, to get their outcome, to get their way. And when things get to the end of them potentially not getting what they want, not only are they drastic, they're unhinged. And what they do in that time of this has to happen. This can't be. They have one final ditch effort. They throw the kitchen sink at it. And that is what I believe the shorts are doing to Mobileye right now. So yesterday we had, over the last couple of days, right? We had a breakout of the symmetrical pattern. I'll redraw it here because I moved it around because the shorts are messing around. It was right here. Let's see. Draw it up to there. It's right there. So as you can see, the last 2 days we had a breakout of that symmetrical triangle pattern, and then we had a retest, but we failed the retest and came back through. So now, what do we have to do? We have to redraw it. We have to redraw the symmetrical triangle pattern to have multiple touch points, which you can even draw it up to here. But it just gets a little weird because you don't have that touch point. I'd rather draw it like that and go from here. Right? So, yeah. Oh no, boo-hoo. We're down over 5%, 6% at some points today. Tell me though, what small cap names are not, what Russell 2000 names are not, what IWM names are not just getting absolutely hammered today? Sounds down over 6%. Hims is down over, they were down all the way down to 15%. SNDL, all my positions, like a lot of these small cap positions are just massively down today. And I think you're just having a pullback in the sector and a scare with, Hims going down and some of these retail names. And, we've been flying high pretty well over the last couple of days. So I think you're having a bit of a pullback on the IWM and on the Russell and in the small cap names. So one, it's not like Mobileye's going down or like the worst company like in the sector dropping hard. That's the first thing I'll say. Next is, I showed it this morning on my X account at the Ronnie V show. We had over 100% short volume ratio again. There was X amount of shares and they were shorting way more of those shares. And we're around 18% right now, which it averages 20% because it's a heavily shorted name. So shorts are having their day. They can have this day, but I think this is that last ditch effort. I think this is that they're trying to throw the kitchen sink at it. They see the weakness in the market. They see, not even in the market, man. Like, they see the weakness in the small caps and these types of names after they ran up last couple of days. they're seeing this weakness, and they're really trying to get it to collapse through here and come back down to $10 or sub 11, or they're really throwing the kitchen sink at it, guys. And With that being said, they're still failing. I mean, I get the stock's down a decent bit today, but they're still failing. Wick up, wick up, wick up. And this is on the daily. I'm about to show you the weekly too. They've had the volume today, unlike all the other days, and they still can't. Look, they had weaker volume on these 3 days, and they couldn't break this 1250 to 1255, 1250 to 1258. They couldn't break it with this small volume, and now they got full volume today, and they still can't break it. It's their last ditch effort. They're throwing the kitchen sink at it. Earnings are tomorrow morning. And my thoughts on the earnings is, man, you have you have this setup with Mobileye. Let's get into this. You have this setup with Mobileye. You have a company here that is top 3 in FSD and autonomous vehicles. You have a company here that, amongst other companies such as Tesla and the legacy car brands, Ford, Honda, Toyota, they've all been struggling mightily. Why? Why? Ask yourself, why? I'll tell you. Inflation has been running rampant for the past 2 years, and we're finally getting that back in place. Bullish. Interest rates have been sky high. And yes, we had a cut, but it was only 50 basis points, and it's not overnight. This stuff fixes this, right? So you have high interest rates over the last 2 years, but they're starting to cut and bring interest rates down, and they're going to continue to cut. Third, Mobileye, over 30% of their revenues come from China. Oh, what's going on in China? Oh, what's been going on in China? Oh, I don't know. Just a massive recession, a massive GDP slowdown. So yeah, is their EPS what? 7 cents and some change less than it was last quarter, or the quarter, year over year, quarter over quarter, or year over year's quarter? Yeah, it is. Is revenue down a little bit? Yeah, it is. But guess what? Tesla's been getting hit hard. The automakers have been getting hit hard. But guess what? Everything's starting to look rosy. We are coming out of this. China is stimulating their economy. Their GDP is getting back on the right track. Their middle class and lower class are getting built up. Things are not the same as they were when this stock was down here at $10. No, not even then. The stock is not the same as what it was at 20. And they cratered the stock because of the things that are going on. But Wall Street is forward thinking, but not only with names that they love. And Mobileye is a no name, not loved company, and they short the hell out of it. May I remind you that 80% of the stock on this company is held by Intel. So there's only 20% of the company left out there to be traded around. And they're shorting that 20% at there's a short float of 22% plus on this name. So they're absolutely shorting the hell out of this name. And they're going to get short squeezed. I don't care that I had to move my symmetrical triangle. Cool. We are still holding this. We are holding this so strong. We are holding this. They cannot get this name down further. That's what they've been trying to do. They cannot get it past this volume shelf and shooting down so they can start covering and get out of this short before they do squeeze. Before they do start covering their shares. We're still holding. Again, I don't care if I had to move my symmetrical triangle pattern. You still have that in play. You still have this massive inverse head and shoulders with a measured move up to $21.13. Or sorry, the volume gap's up to there. The measured move is 681. You have your measured move up to about a little over 2001, which $20.01, which you also have this price gap right here. So you have this massive price gap up to $20.01, which is almost a double up, guys. I mean, it's like 80% move higher. So you have that, and then you also have not 80%, like, you know what I'm saying. So, and then we also have this massive anchored. Oh yeah, SoFi. You also have this massive anchored volume profile gap. Look at this massive. This is a massive volume shelf, and the gap's all the way up here to 20 to 20, a little over $21. I mean, guys, I've been following this thing for a while now. Like, what I saw this morning is what I see every morning, a massive short attack on this name to drive it lower, and it just doesn't work. It just does not work. They get it down for a little bit, and then it spikes right back up because they're not getting the people with massive amounts of shares to sell this company. I'm bullish long term, but I'm also planning for the short squeeze. I have my price points. You can see them, and they go all the way up. I'm telling you, I'm bullish on this name. I know it's not going to squeeze up here. I get that, but I'm bullish for the name long term. I feel we bottomed. We've made this higher low, and we're consolidating, and we have these amazing symmetrical triangle pattern and this amazing inverse head and shoulders, and we have a over 22% short float, and we're gonna go higher. We're gonna squeeze, and I think tomorrow with earnings, with all the things I was just telling you, I think they come in and they beat these numbers. I really do. Things have turned around on interest rates. Things have turned around on inflation. Things have turned around in China. Things are more well known in the autonomous vehicle space and the FSD space. They had massive deals with Zeekr. They had massive deal with Volkswagen, and they probably will announce on their earnings they had another massive deal or two. They're so incorporated and and embroiled with these legacy car brands. I've been saying it. They are the Android to the autonomous vehicle market and FSD market. They have level 1 stuff where it's just lane assist all the way up to level 5 autonomy. They also have self-driving cars out there, guys. I posted a video about it. Go to Mobileye, go to their YouTube, go down to my profile on X, like you'll see it. The thing drove itself all around Norway. Like in Europe. I mean, I've been to Europe multiple times. It's not easy to drive in Europe. It's not even easy to drive in America either, but it's I guess it's probably just different for me because going to Europe, driving from America to Europe, whatever, it's just different. But yeah, so I'll go over it again. We have a massive symmetrical pattern, symmetrical triangle pattern. We have a massive inverse head and shoulders. That's number one on my high five setup. We have a massive volume gap, anchored volume profile gap, and a massive price gap that need to be filled, along with over a 22% short float, along with a rising MACD over the signal indicator after a cross, rising MACD, also a rising RSI, making higher lows. And this is the one that's like, it's just like hanging out there. It doesn't know what it wants to do because of all the shorting and all the back and forth. But just look at this, a bottoming. It's just kind of trying to figure it out. But eventually it's making a higher low though on the stochastic and the trend. And then we are going to continue higher. So it is still a high five setup. If we move over to the weekly chart, looks the same indicators, 1, 2, 3, And these are harder to move, but you have a crossing and you're uptrending on the MACD. You are getting out of the gulag on your RSI. You are making a higher low. You went from super oversold to now getting up into the sweet spot, and you're going to continue higher. And you finally have, again, doesn't know what it wants to do, but I'll take you to this. You are bottoming out, making a higher low from the bottom. On every indicator, it's still a high five setup. And I've shown you all. Up, look at that. We just went green on this. We just went green on the weekly candle. I was about to show you guys these 3 red volume bars and how we are red on 3 weeks in a row, but we just actually went green and maybe starting to push higher now. We'll see. I wouldn't hold my breath. Honestly, I tomorrow morning is going to be massive. Tomorrow morning is going to be massive, and everything is still pointing in the same direction. And I'm super bullish. Up, look, it went right back to red. But I'll point you to this too. You had massive push down right here with increasing volume, right? You have massive push down on the weekly, 3 weeks in a row with increasing selling volume. Back to green. What do we have here? We have decreasing selling volume, and we are holding strong. So you have more selling than buying, but you have decreasing amounts, and you cannot get this pushed down without having that increase in selling volume. Increase in selling volume, massive push down, increase in selling volume, massive push down, decrease the selling volume. Not going to work. Sorry. And you know why it's not that much of selling volume? Why it's not that much? Because they're shorting it. And there's not enough people. They're shorting it, and there's not enough people selling the stock to justify the stock to crater. So next, I'll take you over to here. My valuation analyzer tool. It's telling you the same thing. We got an intrinsic value of $20 per share. And this is taking into consideration the negative 10% revenue, the fall from grace on the revenue, again because of all the hiccups in inflation and interest rates in China, and all of it. You have a 10% revenue slowdown or year-over-year loss. Then guess what? These aren't even my numbers. These aren't even my numbers, guys. These are analyst numbers. I believe they can go way faster than that, especially with everything going the way it's going with autonomous driving, autonomous vehicles, and FSD. I think they can grow a lot faster than that because the total addressable market is just ridiculous. It's so big. And you have a terminal value at 10 on this thing, which is a baseline value. And for these revenue growth rates, it should be more like a 20 to 30. You have a free cash flow yield of almost 2%. It gets a little wonky there because of where the free cash flow is right now. But free cash flow is a lot better when they were making more money, obviously. So once they get back to $2.234 billion revenue, their free cash flow is going to continue to go higher. And once they get these deals done, and they start putting this stuff in cars, and they start putting this technology in the cars and the vehicles, and all these partnerships are happening, their prices on things are going to go down. Their cost for research is going to go down, because once you figure it out, you figured it out, and you have minor tweaks here and there along the way, but once you figure it out, you're good. And then you have a forward P of 25 on this thing for a top three FSD autonomous vehicle company, and they're top 3 with Tesla and Mobileye, in case you were wondering. So right now, where the company's at, you have a 38% current margin of safety. It's not a 6 for 6 score, but that's because they're bottoming out on their revenues right now and their EPS, and they are a turnaround play, I guess you would say. But what a turnaround play you would want. I mean, when we talk about short squeezes, most people talk about GME and AMC, and oh my god, like those companies are dying. I'm sorry, they're dying. I have nostalgia with those companies as well, but they're dying companies. This company has phenomenal technology, and they have level 1 all the way up to level 5 autonomy. So you tell me, which short squeeze would you rather have, the GME AMC or the Mobileye that has a great balance sheet, amazing technology, all the indicators are pointing in the same direction. You're going into earnings, massive short squeeze on the table with over 22% short float. I mean, every single thing is lining up. You're having more and more indicators pointing in the direction, and the more indicators you have pointing in the same direction, the higher the probability that your move is the move that it will make, which is a move higher, in case you were wondering. And then, yeah, it's a growth company. You're not doing 25%, 30%, 35%, 20% revenue growth over the next 10 years and not being a growth company. So the PEG ratio is amazing on this thing too. It's a 0.58. Anything below 1 is amazing. So again, we've seen it time and time again. My valuation analyzer is pretty spot on. It was spot on with Google. It was spot on with Salesforce. It's spot on Meta. I mean, it works, guys. I back tested this thing. I invest with this thing, and I have beat the market consistently for the entire 3 years, 4 years that I've had this built out. And, before that I was beating the market as well, but it was just because I was already doing these things. Just now I put it on an Excel sheet and have all the formulas in here and just update it as need be, and so on and so forth. And we keep rolling and keep the moves going and keep beating the market. Beating the market, obviously, you're going to have way better returns over the lifespan. And yeah, so I know a lot of people are freaking out because this massive move down in the market and with, Mobileye and everything. But I think I proved myself with SoFi bottom calling that. I had bottom called HIMS, and then they decided to go back on it. It came down, and then I bottom called it. It went back up, and then they brought it right back down. But I made a video on HIMS too, in case you're wondering. Massive bull flag, breakout, retest. What's going to happen next? I think we already know. So, but hey guys, I really appreciate if you made it to the end of this video. I know this is a long video, but my videos are long because I'm very thorough, and I think with something like a Mobileye, you need to be very very thorough. You got to be very thorough. If you're going to be calling out a short squeeze, if you're going to be calling out a turnaround in a company, you better be very thorough, and you better have some hard facts to back this stuff up. And I believe I do, and I believe I presented that to you guys today. So we're just getting started here. We're gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep killing it. We're gonna keep having some great trades putting on. I'm going to keep sharing some awesome setups for you guys and with you guys. I'm going to keep on talking to you about some amazing investment opportunities that my valuation analyzer is screaming at me that they're buy. We're going to keep rolling, guys. I really appreciate the support and the kind words and the love you guys keep showing. It really means a lot. Just getting started on socials with this stuff. I've been doing this stuff for a while, but just getting started on socials and trying to get my name out there and trying to help people, it really, really means a lot to me. So I really appreciate it, guys. Comment below what you think Mobileye is going to do. Comment below if you're holding any shares. Of course, all this is not financial advice. We all got to play our own books. If this is too much to stomach for you, then I would maybe say, move along to a less volatile name. But I have a bull thesis. I am very, very, in case you didn't realize, I'm very convinced my way is going to be the way that this thing moves. But like anything, no one's 100%. So it could go against me. It could be wrong. And yeah, that's why we all got to play our own books. So, but hey guys, again, I really appreciate it. Drop some comments below like this if you appreciated the breakdown in these times where it seems like Mobileye is falling off a cliff. But As you can see, it's not. It's holding strong. We're still good. Shorts are messing around. They're throwing the kitchen sink at us, but we're not budging. So thanks, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and be on the lookout for more videos and content.